Hi everyone. So welcome to another Tuesday. I haven't been here for a while. I'm a little bit surprised to find myself alone here today because I was really looking forward to speaking to my friend Layne Smith-Brown, and we were going to discuss a very exciting thing, her chapter in our upcoming new book, which is Trauma to Triumph, which is based on the Trauma to Triumph Summit. So I'm still going to talk to you, and we're still going to have a good time. And if you're here, please, if you're watching, you know I like an audience and I like some hearts there. So if you're watching, please say hi to me. And what I want to say is that I'm not going to try and talk for Layne. I can't do that. I, we are friends. We have the same desire to help people, but our journeys has been different, and we don't have the same outlook on absolutely everything. So I'm going to give you my outlook, and I hope you're going to enjoy that. And maybe another day I get a chance to talk to Layne, and then she can tell you about her outlook. You know, in the end, we're all going to get to basically the same thing. So let me share with you what Layne, one of the paragraphs in Layne's chapter, which I really resonated with, because it encompasses such a lot of what it is that we need to do in order to get onto the journey of um, awakening into being present in our own lives and starting to get the power with which we can change the road that we are on into a different road, a more empowered road. So before I carry on, if anybody can please just let me know if it's raining outside. It's quite soft and like it's never going to stop, which we're not complaining about. But I just want to make sure that you can actually hear me. So if somebody can let me know, I'll really appreciate that. Okay. So in the meantime, while I'm waiting for you, I'm going to read this little piece from Layne. Right. So if we could all get from 2 to 42 without being influenced by so many disconnected people, it would be easy to see. But most of us have had our connection to an infinite wisdom blurred. That's okay. The clues on how to get back are just below the surface. And we are going to scratch at it until we get to the truth of who we are and the possibilities of why we are here. This is what is meant by awakening. And when we awaken, we begin the journey back to standing in our authentic power. And authentic power is the thing that we all love. That's the idea that we like. We love the idea of authentic power. So before I talk about this, just if you can comment for me, if you can hear me above the rain. If you can't hear me, then I know to speak a bit louder. So if anybody's there, I'll appreciate a comment. Okay, and then okay, so right. So let's talk about authentic power and how come we lost it. Because let me check. Okay, great. Thanks a lot for letting me know, Stephen. I really appreciate that. And welcome. Nice to see you here. Right. So, authentic power is not something you can describe to somebody until you start to taste it. We have, before we get it, we have an idea of how it could be when we look at confident people. But until we start to practice it, authentic power is not something we understand. So let's step back. So what Layne calls disconnected people. So I'm going to call it people on autodrive. So these are our parents, our grandparents, our caregivers, our teachers, and they are on automatic drive. They are surviving. They are doing the best they can with the most beautiful intentions. I am not going to damage this child. I'm going to make this child ready for the world. And then, because they are disconnected, they are on auto drive, they are not aware of their own triggers, their own behaviors, their own inherited outlooks. They are not able to help to steer you and give you tools. So you will start losing little pieces of who you are, who you really were born to be. You will allow your your upbringing, your your parents, your surroundings, your story to chip away little pieces of you until you eventually cannot even remember that you were a brave little boy who laughed all the time, or a happy little girl who sang and who would go and not be afraid of life. And we were like that, you know. You don't go into the hospital ward and you see babies and they go like, "Ooh, don't look at me, don't bring the camera, I'm so ugly." You just don't see that. And if I could speak, they actually wouldn't. They wouldn't. They just don't. They're like, "Okay, hello, I'm wonderful." And we lose that. And for us to get back to our authentic self, to step into our authentic power, we have to become aware of what we gave up, and we have to take it back. And so the first thing is just to know that if your parents didn't have it, they couldn't give it to you. And then that somehow along the line, in your desire to please other people, in your in the way in which you took separation or criticism and you applied it to yourself, how you started chipping down little pieces from you. And you can get it back. So we start with awareness, and then if we want to get into our own authentic power, we have to go on a few steps. And one of the most amazing things to do is to relax into who you really are. So you have to, yeah, I know it's hard. Suddenly one day you wake up and you think like, who am I even? When I've been pleasing people for such a long time, when I've been doing what the world wanted from me, when I've been living for my children and my job, who am I even? But you know inside who you really are. And that is, we all have a knowing. When we suddenly find something that we love, we know it. We just know it. We know when something fits us. We may ignore what doesn't fit us. We may, out of habit, do stuff that's not good for us. But when we find what lights us up inside, we know it. We know the truth of it. There is a wisdom inside us. There is a connection to who we really are and what's important to that authentic person that we really are. And the more we start to connect with who we really are inside, and the more we start showing that person to the world, without the filters, without the touch-ups, this is who I am. This is who I am. When we start doing that, and we can just be ourselves, and we can express our opinions, and we can show our frailties. And okay, you don't have to go and show your frailties to everyone, but to the chosen few, the people who are nearest to you. You don't have to be bulletproof all the time. So when you show all of you, and you enjoy all of you, and you are willing to express who you are and what you do, and who you hang out with, in what consumes your time, you will start to get happy inside yourself, and the search will be over. And yes, there's a lot of little moving parts that has to be fixed. This is major to just decide I'm going to be who I am, and my opinion is most important to me. I'm just going to be who I am. I'm going to stop judging myself, and other people's judgment is not very important anymore. That's huge. There are steps. We've learned limiting beliefs. We need to start examining them. We have to actually do some work here. Hey, this is not magic. I'm sorry. We have to do some work. We've got to find our limiting beliefs. We've got to work on our self-esteem. We've got to fix our self-esteem. We allowed our self-esteem to go away to be chipped away. And now we have to fix it. That's our job as adults, to work on our self-esteem, because self-esteem is so very important to connect with the right people, with the right tribe, and get the right opportunities in our lives. And everything is easier when you have self-esteem. When you like yourself, everything is just easier. And we have to make sure that our outlooks align with our adult self, not with our scared child, not with our hurt child, not with our rejected child, but our outlooks have to align with who we are now today, who we want to be, where we are going. So we have to examine them. And yes, you may need a coach or a counselor. And I highly recommend it. It's the fastest way. It is just the fastest way, because you are going to miss each and every one of your blind spots. And also being self-directed and wanting to do too much by yourself is one of those things that keeps us from getting better into our authentic self. Is not wanting help and believing that we have to do it all by ourselves. So we have to do all these things. But if we are not willing to examine the idea that in order to step into empowered authenticity, we have to be authentic, or the other way around, authenticity that empowers us to be our best self. So authenticity is the power. Authenticity means I'm real. I'm real. And when I'm real, I have to show up the way I am. I have to say, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. I don't have to be rude or nasty about it. I have to tell people what I need. I have to focus on my wants and needs and express them to other people in a nice way. I have to be the one who goes after my dreams and not sit around and wait for other people to make it happen. My happiness is my job. My authenticity is my job. Being real is my job. That's how we get to authentic power. Authentic power is an amazing thing. When you're authentic, you have the people you need in your life. If you are a fake version of you, you get people in your life who are attracted to your fake version. And then you've got to play that game, no matter what. Otherwise, they don't like you anymore. So you've got to start with being your real person, be real you. That's amazing. It's amazing and it's powerful. So I'm sure that Layne would have had quite a few more things to say, and we would have had an hour-long conversation. But I also know that even a 10-minute conversation here is going to help someone. So if anybody has any questions, you can please go ahead, share with me. I just want to go back and see if I have our new book here. Do I have an image of our new book? No, how do I not have an image of our new book? This is very sad. Okay, so our new book is available for pre-order. I did put the link in the email. I will put it also in the chat, because it's available somewhere in January. And I've had the privilege of reading through every single chapter quite a few times. And every time I discovered more and more gems, because our 12 authors have all been on the Trauma to Trans Summit, have really given us their best. They have given us so many gems, so many thoughtful things. Their stories, they've been real and authentic about their stories, and their stories will empower you, just like the summit did. And so if you're interested, we're going to keep on having conversations. Next week, I'm having a conversation with Antoinette, who's one of our authors, and we're going to keep on having conversations with all our authors so that you can get to know them extra little bit, and we're going to keep on sharing their wisdom with you. So while that's going on, I am also recording the next chapter of the Relationships for Men Summit. It's going to be conversations with men for men and women. And I'm also going to be recording the next chapter of the Adult Child, Inner Child Healing Summit. And Also amazing people who are going to do some workshops for all of you. So just keep on watching. If you're not on my mailing list as yet, please sign up so that you can know when it's going to happen. And let me just go and double check. Is there anybody who wants to know where to start if you want to be your authentic self? Or is there anything that I missed explaining? Then you must please let me know. And if you are watching, please comment. I'll come back tomorrow and I'll comment. And maybe Layne will come and comment too. I don't know. And you know what I like? I like it when you give us a few hearts and likes. That will be great if you do that. And that will always help Facebook to share it to more people. Right. So I'm going to thank all of you for watching and everybody who's coming in afterwards. Oops, sorry. I want to say goodbye. And love you lots and really appreciate everybody's watching. Please share if you know somebody who needs a little bit of authentic power in their own lives. And see you soon. It was nice to be on Facebook again and live again because I haven't been here for a while. So talk to you soon, and next week will be a long one. You know the story when I talk to Antoinette, we neither of us can shut up. So it's going to be long and interesting and looking forward to seeing you. Lots of love. Thank you for coming.